What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WrestleMania 42 is a complete mess, WWE are scrambling backstage, Randy Orton unhappy, a WWE star shoots on creative, the original Raw plans revealed, a major WrestleMania change, a wrestler shuts down Twitter after Backlash, Liv Morgan addresses LGBTQ rumors, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at WrestleMania is a complete mess. Now, the top story today looks ahead to WrestleMania 42 as one of the top matches on the show is reportedly in flux. It's virtually every other day that a report surfaces stating that the WrestleMania card is being rewritten. This week alone, there were 3 credible reports stating that WWE didn't know the direction for the other WrestleMania matches, and unfortunately, this extends to the WWE title match, which is likely going to main event night 1 of the show. According to a new report by Fightful Select, the WWE title match is in a state of flux, and numerous names within the WWE creative team are now pushing for Jacob Fatu to be inserted into the match. The WWE title picture is still in flux. Drew McIntyre is the current WWE champion, but the WrestleMania title picture isn't quite clear as of yet. Cody Rhodes has been feuding with Drew and is involved in the WWE Elimination Chamber and is expected to be involved in the title scenario. However, WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select reports that Jacob Fatu has a lot of support within the WWE creative department for involvement in the WWE title scene for WrestleMania. Naturally, WWE has written themselves into a corner, as currently, as things stand, Fatu isn't even in the chamber match. There are rumors that the match at WrestleMania becomes a multi-man contest, but this once again undermines the chamber concept. One thing is clear based on the discourse on social media is that fans simply don't want to see Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the 100th time. The feud is stale and WWE really needs to move on. Inserting Fatu would instantly shake up the WWE title scene, but how does the WWE do this via the chamber? This is definitely going to be featured heavily on WWE Unreal Season 3, and we can surely expect the WWE creative team to sit around the now infamous table and look completely baffled as Triple H asks for ideas related to WrestleMania 42 and then probably shuts them down. But WWE are scrambling. And speaking of WrestleMania, WWE is scrambling when it comes to marketing materials for the show. As is known for any WWE show, but specifically WrestleMania, promo material needs to be sent in advance. But with WWE still not finalizing the card at this point, Fightful Select notes that this has led to a mass panic within certain departments within WWE. It was also noted that there are a number of departments that are facing deadlines to prepare WrestleMania materials, and there's panic in some of those departments in Stamford for fear they're falling back preparing those promotional materials. This is a terrible look for WWE. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, and they've had all year to prepare. It's almost as if WWE are putting together an impromptu WrestleMania, and this is easily the most unorganized WrestleMania of all time. Triple H was often labeled as one of the most organized men in WWE, but something has really changed over the past 12 months or so. Granted, injuries have played a major factor in WWE changing a ton of creative plans, but they still have a stacked roster and they shouldn't still be working out the WrestleMania card just 24 hours before the Elimination Chamber PLE goes live on air. I mean, it's not as if injuries have affected the actual Night 1 main event, so why there's so many problems regarding it is unknown. Next up, a WWE star shoots on creative. Tiffany Stratton was massively let down by WWE creative during a women's title reign. Stratton, despite being one of the most over names in the entire company and no genuine feuds, and WWE spammed her feud with Nia Jax into the ground. Stratton has now seemingly taken a shot at her booking during an appearance on the No Contest Wrestling podcast, and this is what the talented star had to say. That's a really good question, whether she's a babyface or a heel. I'm just kinda like me. I feel like for the past year, I was kind of stale. I felt like there wasn't any crazy storylines after I won the title, and I kinda wanted to bring back some spunk. So we're gonna be even more heelish Tiffany. Yeah, we're gonna play around with some things, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, I'm really not sure why the crowd cheers me. It speaks volumes that Stratton understands a character better than WWE creative. Her character receives 0 character development during a lengthy world title reign, and this all falls on the shoulders of WWE creative, who massively let her down. Currently, Tiffany Stratton is the favorite to win the Women's Chamber tomorrow night, and to say that the fans are less than enthusiastic about the idea of seeing Stratton versus Jade Cargill again would be a massive understatement. This is another match that seems to be in a state of flux, and fans on X this week have been urging WWE to pivot heavily and deliver a surprise win in the form of Rhea Ripley. Next up, is Randy Orton unhappy? Randy Orton is one of the most seasoned names in the WWE locker room, and he's lived through multiple eras of WWE. Now, WWE exists in a world where kayfabe is shattered every 5 seconds, and there's even a documentary which exposes the inner workings of the company. Randy Orton isn't exactly a fan of this new direction, and this is what the WWE great had to say during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. At first you think, oh, this is terrible, because there was a time when you were working with a guy, I'm the bad guy and he's the good guy. We might be bros, but we wouldn't ride together even if we wanted to. We wouldn't be seen in public together, especially not in the town we were wrestling in. Nowadays it's not like that at all. Kayfabe is dead. It's entertainment, we're all superstars. I understand it, and I also kinda hate it, but I think it's necessary. Now, Orton would admit that he sees the upside with WWE shows such as Unreal, and he hopes that it brings him more respect for their work. However, Orton notes that he doesn't like it, and he found it strange seeing himself exposed to business in the form of a Netflix documentary. Next up, Randy Orton shoots on the WWE roster. Now, speaking of Randy Orton's interview with Pat McAfee, it's not just WWE Unreal he took issue with. Orton took aim at young talent, specifically young WWE talent who asked for his advice, then failed to apply it in their matches. You get the occasional one who says, hey, will you watch my match? You watch it and you talk to him and he doesn't change anything or take any advice. Then you realize, okay, you piece of shit, you're just doing what you think you should be doing. Orton would add that it's not all young talent who this applies to, as names such as Javon Evans and Trick Williams really care about his advice. But then there are guys who really like Javon Evans and Trick Williams. I can name so many more. Orton has worked with both Evans and Williams, and it's hardly a surprise that these two find themselves in prominent spots in the company, especially if a veteran like Orton is giving them flowers publicly. Next up is a huge face turn coming. The WWE could be planting the seeds for one of their brightest stars to turn babyface. Well, since Trick Williams was called up to the main roster, he's been receiving somewhat of the largest ovations on SmackDown, despite even being a heel. Now, according to a new report from Fightful Select, WWE could be considering turning Williams into a full-blown babyface act. Trick Williams may be forcing WWE's hand. Trick Williams debuted on the main roster of WWE to great fanfare, and WWE may be responding accordingly. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select reports that there's a strong sentiment that Trick is connected with the WWE crowd in a strong way, and there's a push for him to be presented as a babyface. They're told that these conversations did take place before he debuted, but have re-emerged after his reaction from fans. Now, whilst it's completely understandable why WWE are considering this, they should try to keep a lot of nuances of the character intact, as changing it completely may result in fans losing interest. And not everybody needs to be turning babyface if they get a good reaction, just keep him as a tweener. Williams is set to feature in the men's chamber match tomorrow, and it's evident based on his booking alone that WWE sees him as one of the next big breakout stars in the company. Next up, the original Raw plans revealed. When Bronson Reed went down with an injury on Raw this week, this forced WWE's hand, and Jey Uso advanced to the Elimination Chamber match, despite initial plans calling for Reed to win the matchup. Now, it turns out that Reed getting injured had a significant knock-on effect on the entire show, and according to Fightful Select, yet another angle involving the Masked Man was set to go down. Bronson Reed is sidelined with an injury and caused big changes. Bronson Reed sustained a bicep injury on February 23rd that changed the outcome of his Elimination Chamber qualifier. With Reed slated to win the match, there were immediate altercations made for Jey Uso to win. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select reports that the injury will also cause big changes to the Masked Man angle. Originally, the Masked Man and Logan Paul were slated to be part of the finish of the match. As a result, it's reported that the Masked Man angle will undergo heavy rewrites. That's been heavily rumored that WWE may erase the Masked Man angle from existence, mainly due to the entirety of the original Vision faction being injured. It was rumored that the Masked Man was going to be revealed as Seth Rollins, but with Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed out of the picture for now, this reveal doesn't even make sense. It's possible that WWE runs Seth Rollins vs Logan Paul yet again for WrestleMania, but Rollins doesn't have any personal issues with the former US champion, so it doesn't make any sense. Right now it's just best to scrap it all together and then just move on from it. Maybe they can revisit it at the end of the year, but Masked Man angles need to just calm down. Next up, an AEW star kicked out of an Uber. One of the more unusual stories of this week is related to AEW star Darby Allin. Whilst the story is outlandish and bizarre, it's going viral with numerous mainstream outlets picking up the story. Allin was doing an interview for the podcast broadcast whilst he was in an Uber, but the driver of the vehicle wasn't best pleased with Allin and told him that he wanted silence in the car. In an awkward moment, the Uber driver crashed out and began to shout at Allin and asked him to just get out in the middle of nowhere.
I'd hate to interrupt like your AA or like therapy session or whatever, but it's kind of rude of you to be on speakerphone like in someone's Uber.
Is it cool if I finish?
Look man, I've been driving since 5 a.m. I'm tired. Like, can you just put the phone up? Like, it's a little rude. Get out of my car now.
Let me see you. We're in the middle of the highway.
I don't care. Get out! Go! Get out of my car! Get out!
We're in the middle of the highway.
Get out!
See, Lyft drivers really do this.
Out! Go!
Some fans have speculated that this was a setup, yet the reaction from Alan seems to be completely genuine, and he even posted later on that he was still trying to find an Uber hours later. Next up, a wrestler shuts down Twitter after Backlash. AEW Women's Tag Team wrestler Harley Cameron has now deactivated her Twitter after facing heavy criticism online following an injury to fellow wrestler Penelope Ford on AEW Dynamite. During the Dynamite episode in Denver, Ford, she was competing in the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match when she attempted a moonsault to the outside. Although she landed on her feet, she immediately showed signs of pain and had to be genuinely pulled from the match. The wrestlers had to change the planned finish of the match on the fly by having Lena Cross interfere and cause a DQ, allowing the champions to retain the titles. Later updates from the Wrestling Observer confirmed that Ford sustained a sprained ankle and is expected to return relatively soon, but that didn't stop the criticism online directed to Harley Cameron. This was because she failed to catch Ford during the moonsault, and many implied that she was responsible for the injury, which is insane. Next up, Liv Morgan addresses LGBT rumors. A WWE star Liv Morgan has directly addressed long-running speculation about her sexuality. And these rumors go all the way back to the 2019 wedding angle on Raw, where Morgan dramatically interrupted the wedding between Lana and Bobby Lashley, confessing her love for Lana during the segment. Now in an interview with Complex, Morgan acknowledged those online perceptions, explaining that she understands why fans drew certain conclusions because of how memorable and unusual the segment was. I feel like the only one that I could really think of is, I think the internet thinks that I'm like a lesbian. I think that I like girls, and you know what? I love girls. I think women are beautiful, but I don't know that I'm romantically interested in women. Obviously, fans need to separate the character from the actual person on TV, as it's obvious that this was kayfabe. And finally, a major WrestleMania change. Our final story today looks at a potential major change when it comes to this year's Mania. Last night, WWE confirmed that the show will commence 90 minutes earlier than expected, as the show will commence at 2:30 PM rather than 4 PM. Weirdly, official listings for WrestleMania 42 haven't been updated, so there's no confirmation on if this means the show itself will go live, or WWE just wants fans in attendance to kick off the broadcast. WWE has been really keen to go live earlier than usual in recent years, so this is possibly a TKO change that they're looking to implement moving forward. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.